Hi guys! Today on Science and Kirby we are actually doing a redo. So if you were in my nature and engineering class, you know that I tried to make hand warmers at the beginning of the year and it went horribly, and I had a video of my fail for you.
So that doesn't work.
But today we are going to try to do it all over again. I have done a lot of research and I think I can do it this time, so join me as we try to make hot ice, and I hope you guys can make it at home for my instructions and it works this time. So let's go get our supplies. Alright, we have gotten our ingredients, so let's head back to my apartment to start the experiment.
For this experiment you are going to need vinegar, baking soda, some kind of closed container with a lid, a liquid measuring cup, a tablespoon, and a pot and stove. You're going to start out by pouring 2 liters in a large pot. Remember, 2 liters is 2,000 milliliters, so we'll be close to 8 cups. Pour in your 8.5 tablespoons of baking soda slowly. Alright, you're going to bring this up to a boil and then turn it down to like medium low, and we are going to slowly boil this for hours. So I will check back in a little bit and we'll see how we're doing. Alright, we have been boiling for about an hour. We're about halfway there. I'm gonna keep boiling. I had to turn up my temperature a little bit, but we're doing great. So this has been boiling close to 2 hours, and we still have a little bit more to go. We don't have any crystals yet. Okay, I forgot I was supposed to be filming, but I've been boiling this for close to 2 hours. We're getting some weird buildup on the top, which I think are the crystals that I'm supposed to be looking for. Those were in fact not the crystals I was supposed to be looking for, and things are about to go very, very poorly. Which is a good sign. So I'm going to let this go a little bit longer and let you guys know how it is doing. So I have a bunch of crystals at the bottom that I need to try to dissolve, so I'm going to add a little bit more vinegar to try to get it to dissolve all the way. Alright, I got all the crystals mixed in, so I am going to move them to my next container. Alright, I transferred my reduced liquid into this jar, put a lid on it. A lid is important. If you don't have a twist-on lid, put on a rubber band. Then I'm going to put it in my ice bath, maybe for an hour. Let me get that more stuff. There we go. Now I'm going to leave that there for an hour. I will check back in with you then.
Okay, there's a gap right here where I did not film. That is because everything went horribly wrong. I had boiled the solution too long, and it turned out kind of like a slushy that wasn't ice after I put it in the ice bath. I took it out and tried to let it thaw, but it did not thaw. It stayed this weird slushy solution. So it turns out I had boiled it too long. That weird film on top was not good. So I added more vinegar until the slushy dissolved, and then I boiled it again for a less amount of time until I got a thinner film at the top, which I will show you later. So that's what you missed. Guys, I accidentally triggered the reaction. Look at it, look at it. It's turning to a solid from a liquid. We did it! We're gonna try to do it again. I'm gonna stick it in the microwave and melt it down and then try to cool it, and then we're gonna see if we can do it again. Hold on. All right, another thing you missed. In this next clip, you're gonna see me re-boiling the material when I said I was gonna microwave it. So everything on the internet says you should be able to microwave your solution and then re-trigger it. I did not find that should be true. So what I had to do was actually put in more vinegar, more baking soda, and then reboil it until I got the film that's in the next clip on top of it, and then re-put it in the refrigerator. It took me a couple times to figure this out, and that's why I'm doing it, so you can do it after me. But it took me, this whole process took me about 4 days. So there's a lot of time in between the next couple clips, but I did finally get it to boil down and get that film on top so I could put it in the refrigerator.
So this is the film you should be looking for. I had to use a flashlight on my phone and a regular flashlight to kind of see it.
Okay, so we're trying this again. I'm going to explain before we do it, even if it doesn't work. I'm going to jump in right now and explain a little bit better what I was talking about in this clip. So when we mixed together the baking soda and vinegar, we got three things. We got sodium acetate, which is what we are hoping for, but we also got water and carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is gas, so that's all the little bubbles that fizzed out when you put the baking soda into vinegar. So that just leaves us with a lot of water and sodium acetate. When we boiled the solution down, we got rid of the water and made a more concentrated sodium acetate. When we put it in the fridge, what we actually did was super cool our solution. So super cooling is when we lower the temperature of a liquid below the freezing point without it becoming a solid. So this solution wants to become a solid so bad that even a speck of dust or being jarred by a lid opening can turn it spontaneously into a solid. And what we are going to see is spontaneous crystallization. So that is when that little jarring creates all of the sodium acetate to stick together and to create a crystal. And it happened really, really fast, and it actually creates an exothermic reaction. So an exothermic reaction is when a reaction creates more energy than what is required. So this reaction created so much energy that heat is actually coming off of it, and it gives off a lot of heat. And this is the same process that is in those little packet hand warmers that we use during the winter to keep our hands warm. So let's jump back in.
So I'm gonna get my second camera ready, if it works. So let's see. It's a liquid right now. Got it out of the fridge. I don't think it's gonna work. It's working! It's working! We have two cameras going. You can see that the reaction is being triggered and it's turning from liquid to a solid right now. And if I feel the jar right now, it is very warm. It has released the heat in that reaction. We did it, guys. All right, we're gonna jump to my final thoughts. I just want to get a shot so you can see how it's all crystalline jelly. So this is a different crystal structure than the crystals that we grew during rock candy. Kind of gross, but releasing a lot of heat and it's pretty darn cool.
This experiment was super cool, but I wanted to talk to you about what the Peaceful People theme was during the experiment. Can anyone guess? We talked about it earlier this year, and it is perseverance. So perseverance is working towards a goal even when there's an obstacle in the way. So personally, I had a lot of obstacles in the way. You saw I had my solution for the first time turned to like a jelly. I had to figure that out. I also didn't film it the first time it happened, so I had to redo the whole experiment a couple times before I could actually film it for you guys to see. If I had given up, then I wouldn't have gotten those cool 2 shots for you guys to see at the end of the video. So what I did to persevere is 2 things. The first thing was I broke up my seemingly large task into small tasks. So when I got the weird jelly at the beginning, I was like, okay, I need to get this back into a liquid form. That was my first task. Instead of saying, oh, this isn't fail, I need it to turn to a solid and I need to film it, I was like, okay, we just need to get this back into a liquid. So breaking up your large, seemingly impossible task into tiny little ones can help you persevere to succeed. The second tip is to evaluate your failures. So failure is not a bad thing. Failure doesn't make you a bad person or a failure yourself. When I didn't get my solution to work, I was not a failure. So I had to look at what I did wrong and then kind of go back, evaluate what I did, and then change it. So when I was boiling the first time and I got that weird film on top, I needed to go back and think, okay, what did I do wrong and what do I need to do differently? That's how I found out that I need to get the film very thin, and right when that happens, take it off the heat instead of waiting for that really thick one. So evaluating my failures actually helped complete the whole experiment. I want you guys to try this experiment at home with mom or dad, and I want you to persevere to try to finish it. If you have any questions at all when you are doing it, please reach out to me. I will answer as best as I can to help you persevere through this experiment. I will see you guys next week. Have a good weekend. Bye, guys.